Okay, folks, we're headed back to North Conway Station. Getting ready to cross Route 16 again. When we cross Route 16, those of you on the right, if you look down that road 9 miles, you come to Fryeburg, Maine. Last week of September, first week of October, Fryeburg hosts the largest fair in the state of Maine. And it takes place again last week of September, first week of October. It's a great time. They have a lot of events. They have different museums, different shows. They have also all sorts of food and all sorts of livestock. Definitely worth going to and seeing. That's the Fryeburg Fair. Only 9 miles from this point where we cross. Now, as we come up between the athletic fields, and if we look beyond the athletic fields, we'd see what was once the location of the Conway International Airport, which operated from 1945 to 1957. It was an approved flying school where over 3,000 men and women learned to fly. It also had the first scheduled airline service in the state. Round trip to Boston back then cost $18.50. After the athletic fields, we're coming up to the Swift River again. Now the Swift is 25.6 miles long and is a tributary of the Saco River. It originates in the Kangamungus Pass in the ghost town of Livermore. Now Livermore is a ghost town because it depended on the lumber industry for the people there to survive. So once the White Mountain National Forest was created and Livermore was in it, the town ended up dying. Thus it became a ghost town. Now the Swift River parallels for its entire length the scenic 34-mile long Kangamungus Highway that goes between Conway and Lincoln, New Hampshire. We're going to go through the 4 crossings again in reverse order. Again, the first crossing to come up will be the Passaconaway Road crossing. And since we just talked about the Kangamungus Highway, I'm going to mention a historic house. It's the historic Pole Bath House, which was maintained by the Forest Service. Is a great place to learn about life in the 1800s. And there is an amazing love story that happened at that house. The Pole Bath House is right beside the Kangamungus Highway and is well worth a visit. Again, we'll hear those 2 long whistle blasts, a short blast, and another long blast, just as we approach the Passaconaway Road crossing. crossing we're going to come to, and we'll come to it quickly, is one in the village of Flint, the Flint Crossing. Again, this was originally a logging camp, but people stayed after the logging plant closed, and again, the village grew enough to have its own railroad station. So the brown house with white trim on the left, just after the Quint Crossing, was the Quint Railroad Station. It's now a private residence. Coming up, Quint Crossing. Now after Quint Crossing, the next crossing we'll come to is Hales Crossing. Before we get to Hales Crossing, if you look at either side of the train, you're going to get a chance to see those two family cemeteries again. The cemeteries that these local pioneer families had. These are the people that helped settle the Mount Washington Valley in the 1800s. On the left, you'll see right beside the train tracks the Sparhawk Family Cemetery, and on the right, directly opposite it, the Hill Family Cemetery. The Hill Family Cemetery is about 10 to 15 feet into the woods. Okay, the engineer is sounded. We're approaching Hales Crossing. And after Hales Crossing, we're going to very quickly come up on the West Side Road Crossing. The West Side Road Crossing, again, is a scenic byway that runs from Route 16 in Conway up to Route 302 in Bartlett. And on the left, just before that crossing, we'll see the Marshall Conservation Area again. It'll be on the left, just before the crossing. Now, if you're just traveling in this area, and West Side Road has three things in particular that are really worth seeing if you're just visiting the area for the first time. One is Cathedral Ledge. Cathedral Ledge, you can drive up to the top of the ledge and get beautiful views of the town of Conway, Echo Lake, and the surrounding area. And there's also Diana's Baths. Diana's Baths is about a little over a 2-mile hike. And through the woods, very easy hike, and it brings you to a series of waterfalls that are again quite beautiful. And the third thing that's there is Echo Lake State Park. Echo Lake State Park has Echo Lake in it, and overlooking Echo Lake you have White Horse Lake. Gives you a beautiful view seeing the two together. And also you have a beach there, and picnic tables, and also an easy hiking trail that goes around the lake. Again, these are all on West Side Road. Now, if you look across the cornfields and you're on the right-hand side of the train and look up, you're going to see the southern end of the Green Hills, which is Rattlesnake Mountain and Redstone Ledge. These form the eastern side of the Mount Washington Valley. In the early 1900s, there was a granite quarry at the base of Redstone Ledge, which had deposits of two different colored granites side by side. Both the pink and green granites were quarried there and used in many buildings, including federal buildings in Washington, D.C., and Grant's Tomb in New York City. Rattlesnake Mountain got its name in the early 1900s from people that, due to the large number of timber rattlers found there. Now we're slowing down again because we're going over the Moat Brook Trestle again. And usually on the left, if it's as we come out of the woods, if it's clear, we can usually see the Moat Mountains on the left-hand side. And also we'd see Mount Washington to the front, right also. But today, unfortunately, the weather is not cooperating. The clouds are quite low. Mount Washington is the U.S.'s sixth most isolated peak. It's in the range of mountains known as the Presidential Range. Presidential Range, all the mountains in that range are named after past U.S. presidents. Nearly the whole mountain is in the White Mountain National Forest, and it sits on 60.3 acres, which surround and include the summit, which is designated as Mount Washington State Park. Again, we're coming up on the Saco River again. Now, the Saco River goes through northeast New Hampshire and southwest Maine. It drains a rural area of 1,703 square miles of forests and farmland, west and southwest of Portland, Maine, and it empties into the Atlantic Ocean at Saco Bay, 136 miles from its source at Saco Lake, up in Crawford Notch, directly across from our Crawford Notch station. Coming up on the left again will be the wastewater treatment plant, along with all the solar panels. And the next railroad crossing, right after the plant, will be the Sawmill Lane crossing. We're crossing Sawmill Lane crossing. Now, those of you now sitting on the right-hand side of the train for the first time may have noticed granite posts next to the track. These posts are mileposts and are used by dispatchers, rail crews, and train crews to identify locations along the line. The posts have a white rectangle painted on the top, and on one side there's a letter B for Boston in the rectangle, and on the other side there's a letter I for Intervale in the rectangle. And the number below either letter tells you the number of miles from that post to the B to Boston. That's where the B is. Or if you were looking at the I, to the village of Intervale, which is about 2 miles north of North Conway. And our next crossing will be Echo Acres Crossing. On the left and on the right, you can see your parallel Route 60, the White Mountain Highway. Again, this is the major route through the Conway, North Conway area. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be arriving at North Conway Station in a few minutes. On behalf of the Conway Scenic Railroad, I'd like to thank you for riding with us today. The Conway Scenic Railroad is a heritage railroad dedicated to keeping alive the experience of traveling on what was, for over 100 years, the primary means of transport for passengers of freight in the United States. Now is also a good time to check your seat for sunglasses, eyeglasses, toys, cameras, cell phones, car keys, even husbands, wives, partners, children, or pets. We don't want you to leave anything or anyone behind. Now, if you have trash to dispose of, there are trash cans by the exits and the car vestibules on your way out. Once again, thank you for riding with us. We hope you'll return soon for another adventure on the rails. We wish you safe travels on your drive home or wherever your Mount Washington Valley adventures take you. Now, when we arrive at the station, please stay seated until the train comes to a stop. Then, once it stops, you'll be able to exit the car train safely. Thank you again from the entire crew.